Good morning, everybody. It's Marty the JavaScript Party. My buddy Rhett. I have an almond for her, her second favorite kind of nut. Although the way she's waiting, I feel like when I had a pistachio, that's her, what I thought was her favorite kind of nut. She was waiting like that, but this time, but maybe it has something to do with something else. So trying to get this thing working, and we're working on deleting. Needs to delete all as part of the visualization. Number 7. Is that right? That doesn't even seem right. Because that's for all of them. Let's go to GitHub and see. Is this, yeah, it's still building. Because we made if I remember correctly, we made a sub story. Okay, this is space and time. Issues, a sub issue. We made a sub issue. Delete all objects that are part of a visualization, which I believe this is number 7, right? And then this is number 28. And then, oh, I never did create a branch for this? Oh, how weird. All right, I guess I should do that. I guess I should switch this over to a different branch. We haven't made any commitments, I don't think. Commits yet. Let's see. Git log. See, the last commit was merging 22 create shows the 22 create a table of entities that shows the sequence. Yeah, so that was apparently the last thing was to merge that. So I don't think there's any changes. Yeah, there aren't any changes in this branch. All right, so let's go ahead and create a branch. That's wild. I guess I just missed that. 28. Check out locally. I think I can just check it out. Should not be a big deal. Control V. 28. All right. So, yeah, that was crazy. Um, or as I like to say, that was crazy. Uh, crazy. That's Cray space SEE. Crazy. All right. But this thing's still not running? Yeah. All right. So we came up with this concept of having like a data table. And then by default, we go to entities, and then that will show all the existing ST entities in the application. And then came up with a good idea of then be able to only show one kind of entity, right? So like right now, so instead of entities, we would say ST animation. And then this data table should just have a natural filter on it. And so we started working on that, and that was cool and all that. But what dawned on me was that a couple of things. First of all, like um, I really haven't put any thought into how the um, routes, like how the routing structure is. Right now, I just sort of just randomly put stuff out there, but I really do need to think through it. And it's like I think I already took care of this guy right here, and I said, "Hey, this is like sort of the layout." So we have like 4 kinds of layouts. We have custom layout, app data layout, and tabular layout, and update layout. And I have like, yeah, this current route service, which knows that it can return a layout. But then we added a different one and get type from router. So I think that was a good name, but ST types. But the problem is that entities is not an ST type. So really, what we need is for this. Um, I guess I want to call this a route detail type from route. And that's what we want to call. And this whole thing kind of like I was trying to think of, I always try to think of like real world analogies. And once me and my wife went on a little trip, let's see, what time is it? 8:47. So I only have 8 more minutes. It's beautiful outside, Marietta, Georgia, 8:47, Wednesday, March 4th. But so we once went to, I believe it was Jekyll Island, or maybe I think there's a little town across the river, across, or like a small city across the bridge from Jekyll Island, and that's where we are. And I can never remember what um what the name of that town is, but it's like kind of a semi-infamous town because there was like a really crazy thing that happened there during the during when the what was it called, the yeah, when we had that illness that went around in 2024, COVID and all that. But we saw this little like 500, 300, 200-year old park. And in the park, they had like this little thing where you could see this tree, this old, big old oak tree. It was gigantic. It was probably about 4 feet wide. And inside of it was actually a fence. There was actually like a wrought iron fence inside of the tree. So like there must have been a fence. The tree grew around the fence, and then they cut both sides of the fence and replaced it somewhere else. Made the park bigger or something, or maybe smaller. I don't know. But anyways, so the fence used to go through the tree, and now it doesn't go through the tree anymore. But they left the metal there. I was like, that's kind of what this feels like. It feels like our world changed, and the domain and the URL became a lot more important, but we didn't grow it with that. So before it was just like, oh, this is a layout type, but now we have a layout type and a route detail type. Get, I guess it's not route detail type from route. It's get detail type from route. And then I guess what we need to do is like get the type, or we need to, instead of ST types, this needs to be like a route type. Now we have layout types. Where are the layout types? Go to definition, layout types, layout. And so it seems like what we really, so, so yeah, and these are reflow types. And I guess our ST types, this is where they go. ST types should go in here and then get pulled in, and then we should probably have like route types, route detail types, stuff like that. All right, so let's go ahead. We need to do two things. Let's go to our package. And again, I know I keep saying this over and over again, but like if I was actually working in a job, I don't even think this thought process would ever even cross my mind. I would just be like, I would have fixed it, moved on, and rolled through, and just kept things going. But to me, it's like one of the benefits of this is um, um, to understand things better and try to have a little bit more time. Is this an interface? Yeah, this is an interface down here. Viz component. Okay. Interfaces, layout, components. Wait, so interfaces. Oh, was I looking? I think I was looking at, I thought I was looking at interfaces, layout, oh, I guess I moved the whole components. Interfaces, layout, That's wild. Maybe I deleted it. This I interfaces ST, and then layout, and then components. But see, we don't have components. And then ST component. I'm assuming there is an ST It's probably ended up in here. Okay, let's close this app. Okay, let's open the app up again. Oh, I closed it. Open, components, interfaces. Interfaces, and then, okay. Oh, ST. Oh my gosh, layout. It looks like I might have a bit of a mess. ST component, which is in there. So I have two layouts. I have an ST layout and just layout. I guess that does make some sense. Okay, so kind of, so instead of, oof, oof. Okay, so I'm trying to think where our dictionary. So we have this ST dictionaries, and that isn't even right. We have our base. Man, I have a mess here. It's amazing how things, and then we have our base dictionaries. Okay, so yeah, their base dictionaries were supposed to kind of not be. I think this was supposed to only be our base dictionaries, and then we were supposed to break these out into more detailed into different places. But I just couldn't quite come up with a really good way of doing it. But the sequence ST types and ST types probably need to go. Where does this come from? This probably comes from somewhere else. Yeah, into ST. So I think this goes over in ST. All right, so we're doing like this refactor. I don't know if we should do this refactor at this point. I know I keep pushing it down, but I do think that we have to get the routing a little bit more structured. And so I think we need to create a interfaces routing. See, right now we have layout. I think we need a routing, and then that basically we need to break down our two different routes that we have and have them in routes. And then some of them may just literally be like, hey, it's just this set from another thing, but we do like it's just this like it's just ST types or something, or it might be ST types plus entities, the word entities, because right now, like over here, entities and all these ST types are what I need. So all right, so back to this. So I'm not going to try to just take on the whole world like what I was kind of showing before, but I am going to try to make this not compound and make things worse. So it's IS, ST, routes, route. And then the first thing are layouts. And that's going to be data, like those things up top. So interface, ST, route, slash layout, and then it's routes. So these aren't ST specific. These are routes. No, layout, layout, like that. Interface, routing. Maybe we'll change that to routing. All right, so basically what I want is a new folder called routing, and I want one called layout.ts. I do not know if this is a good idea or not. I'm just going to try it. Okay. Then npm run ist route layouts. We should get a new folder called routing. It's still working on it. Oof, I can't believe how slow this can be. It's literally, yeah, just creating one. Okay, so it just added this guy, st and layouts. And now the legal layout routing, maybe I want to name this routing layout. No, interface layout, and then I'm going to say equals, and I don't know if this is an interface. I think it might be a oh my gosh, what's going on? Layout types. Okay, yeah, these are types. And I think um, we can actually type. Let's make this a type, and we're going to say it's basically the same as layout type. And but it's not just the layout types, right? Or maybe it is and it shouldn't be. Like so because right now my layout types has data, which is not a layout type. Or is yeah, it's not a layout type. Like we have different types of UI layouts, and they are like these things here: tabular, custom, and the update. But data is a whole different kind of thing. It's not a layout, I guess, is the it is a layout, but it's a routing layout. It's not a so yeah, let's say routing layout is layout types and then or data, right? And I guess or even or like that, blank. And then what we want to do is probably go into our layout types and delete both of these. And then I think something somewhere will break, yeah, because we want this routing layouts. And we have this index. Yeah. So let's go ahead and say export star. Oh man. Dash. What is routing? I don't know. Oh, it's supposed to be ST. I think. What is going on here? Okay, index. Okay, so I don't think that's the right index that I want to go out of. Maybe I don't even do that. Okay. All right, I gotta go though. Let me hit back just so tomorrow I end up here. Happy coding, everybody. Bye.